James didn't anticipate that someone would see the kiss. Nolan, the officer, witnessed the kiss. He was friends with Nyla. He asked another acquaintance for guidance because he wasn't sure if he should inform her. He talked to Wesley. James kissed another person, he informed Wesley. Wesley was compelled to bring it up following the shooting, despite his best efforts to minimize it at the time. Jealousy could be a motive, he had to explain to the investigators. Wesley had to add that they had to cover everything, including looking into Nyla. Nyla paid the shooter to kill her husband, according to a competent defense lawyer. She was cheated on by James. She was linked to the shooter as well. Connor Lowe was the shooter. He was a member of a gang. He was one of the 6th Street Devils members. He was arrested by Nyla 18 months ago. Nyla herself recognized that she needed to be thoroughly scrutinized. She was unaware of the kiss. She simply knew that if the police didn't dig into her, it would seem awful. She gave them permission to investigate her home, go through her financial records, and even examine her firearm. Nyla didn't mind being watched. Yes, she and her spouse were having a lot of arguments. It is their language of love. Since they have never stopped fighting, her pals on the force searched through Kyle's life to find out what happened. They discovered that she had a side job where a recent death occurred. It was possible that she had seen a rival gangbanger killed and that Lowe was attempting to silence her. For Lowe, the police issued a bolo. When Lowe struck a woman with his automobile, Lucy and Tim nearly caught him. Additionally, the cops remained to provide the newest victim with first assistance. Lowe was facing an increasing number of charges. They also discovered additional information regarding James. The police discovered a picture when they searched the house. James was shown in the picture alongside Leonard Kelsey, a notorious fugitive. The picture was taken at James and his wife's home. The man's presence didn't seem good to James or Nyla. The photo has to be filed as evidence by the police. Wesley withdrew from the case. A different ADA was assigned because he was friends with the subject. The ADA Eckert was impolite. She was demanding. Keeping Nyla safe didn't matter to her. As soon as she learned about the picture, she went to the hospital to question Nyla. When Eckert confessed everything, Nyla was waiting to find out if her spouse would make it or not. There was a kiss, she disclosed. Nolan saw it, she said. She made an effort to undermine Nyla's trust in her pals. Eckert wasn't supposed to question the suspect. That was what the police were supposed to do. Nyla's rights were violated by Eckert, and Lieutenant Gray cautioned her against doing so in the future. Gray understood Eckert's motivation. They had recently recovered from a corruption scandal in their department. Nyla didn't allow Eckert to agitate her since they couldn't afford another scandal. She instructed her friends to carry out more research. She talked to Wesley too. James was great buddies with Wesley. He would be able to tell if James was unfaithful. He wasn't, according to Wesley. He claimed that all James ever stated about his love for Nyla was sufficient for her. Wesley accompanied Nyla to the hospital. Everyone else carried on with their investigation. The elderly woman was transported to the hospital after Lowe struck her with her vehicle. People were already squabbling over her possessions, and there was little hope she would live. Her caregiver didn't think she was getting paid enough for the work she did with the woman. If the genuine daughter hadn't appeared, she may have robbed the mother in a coma by pretending to be the daughter. When the police intervened, they were fighting over a woman's drying diamond rings. The caregiver was also taken into custody. Lowe was unnecessarily attracting attention to his gang. Angela contacted his supervisor. She informed him that Lowe had shot a police officer's spouse. If he wasn't caught, he would be hounded for the rest of eternity. He could also be careless and start a gang fight. That had not pleased his supervisor. He gave the police the location of Lowe's hiding place. On the set of a show that was put on hold, he was hiding. The police officers gathered in the vicinity. Before he could harm anyone else, Lowe was apprehended after they finally located him. Additionally, there was some positive news. James became conscious. From the beginning, James informed Nyla that Kylie had kissed him. He claimed to have pushed her away as well. He assured Nyla that he would never harm his wife since he loves her. Nolan's wife was hospitalized for dehydration while he was looking into the shooting. Selena was asked by Nolan to keep an eye on Bailey. However, they were able to solve a crime in the hospital together. They discovered 2 men who stole money from a meth facility and stashed it in their buttocks. The men were so foolish that they gladly told Selena about their transgressions. As AP2, they were her first arrest. Bailey was all right. When he went to pick up his wife, Nolan had the opportunity to give Nyla back his gun. Nyla suspected that Nolan was the witness long before Eckert did, and he acknowledged to her that he was. She claimed that Nolan was giddy with guilt, and that he had nothing to apologize for. Nolan and Nyla are close and they will stay close.